Here we go. So today, guys, I'm going to do a video where we're going to talk about the 10 most anticipated cards from NBA 2K20 that haven't yet come out in NBA 2K21. Now, we all look back on 2K20 fondly. I think the worse 2K21 gets, the more fondly we look back on 2K20, but maybe that's a different video. What I do remember is there were some absolutely incredible cards from that game that I would love to see, whether they're retro versions or just similar cards. We are at a point now where we're starting to see some similar cards from last year. The radioactive T-Mac is very close to the leap year T-Mac. And the new Ben Simmons is really close to the prime Ben Simmons. You could argue he's even close to the NBA's back one if you picked up one with 59 Hoff badges that went for 12 million MT the other day. But before we get into that, guys, please like and subscribe. As always, we are now racing towards 1,000 subs. You guys are killing it. Thank you so much for your support. If you haven't dropped a sub, drop one more sub, we'll be that much closer. So at number 10, this might be a bit of a surprise. For me, it's not, is the Pascal Yakum Galaxy Opal from last year. So tiers wise, this would be a dark matter this year. This card was really, really OP. I mean, at the time it came out, it was comfortably the best power forward in the game for me. I ran him for about 2 months. I know he was really popular. 43 Hoff badges, including all of the important ones. And it's important to remember this year that most jump shots, as good as Siakam's jump shot was, it's going to be on very quick this time. You know, he's going to be able to Pro 2 because he's 6'9". There's so much going for this card, 7'3" wingspan as well. There was so much going for this card. It was so much fun to use. I can't wait until we get that Dark Matter Siakam, and I think it will be just as popular as it was last year. At number 9, we have fan favourites Galaxy Opal Dino Raja with 58 Hall of Fame badges, a 7'11" wingspan, 6'11". Absolutely cracked out in every possible way. And I think the jump shot that Dino has this year is even better because I was green as hell with that Amethyst. This is a card that is really the definition of a fan favourites card. People like DBG have made this card way more famous, but there is a reason. The card is absolutely goated. With his weight and his height, his animations could be really scary. The pink diamond was OP enough, and I'd nearly put that in. But this Galaxy Opal was just built different last year. At number 8, we've got out of position Galaxy Opal Jonathan Isaac. Now this again might be a surprise, but if you look at where we are in the game right now, 54 Hall of Fame badges, 6'10". This card would dominate that Dark Matter Ben Simmons. It would. This is a card we need to contain that Ben Simmons. And again, 54 Hoff badges, great wingspan, terrific height, all the badges that you would need. Again, his signatures are great. His jump shot was pretty good last year. They'll upgrade all of his signatures. They'll upgrade the speed of his shot. This card, if done right, could be the best point guard we see this year. I'll be very interested to see if they actually do release another point guard, Jonathan Isaac. At number 7, we have a player who just seems to be missing from this year's game, despite how dominant this card was last year. 55 Hall of Fame badges, 7'1", 7'3" wingspan. This was one of 2 cards in my endgame squad that was not a GOAT card. It was him and NBA's back Ben Simmons. That was it. That's how OP this card was. It competed with some of the best GOAT cards in the game. And we all remember that Chris Bosh jumper and just how good it was. Again, it's all going to get dialed up. The speed of the shot is going to be on very quick. There's going to be a lot of good things about this card. I find it very weird that we are not getting James Wiseman cards this year. So I feel like the next one that drops could be that OP card to make up for the lack of Wisemans in this game. At number 6, we have another card from the same set, which is the LaMelo Ball from the next series. 56 Hall of Fame badges, very similar to that Wiseman in terms of how OP this set was. I remember when it came out, it really changed the game. Again, every Hoff badge, basically, it's not even about Hoff badges you need. He's basically got every Hoff badge. Look at his stats, he's almost 98, 99, everything. That jump shot was absolutely fantastic. And again, we're going to see it on very quick. And if that Diamond LaMelo that they've already released this year is anything to go by, when we eventually get that point guard LaMelo, he probably will end game as a top 5 point guard in this game. Now, at number 5 is a card that I would probably consider myself as the best card that came out last year. I absolutely loved this Bol card. Running him at small forward was an absolute game changer. And there's cards coming later in this list that most people would rank above this card. But I think a lot of those cards could compete with each other. I don't think there was a card that could compete with this Bol. The amount of steals he got That 7'7" wingspan, that 7'2" height, sitting at small forward with 52 Hall of Fame badges, and an absolutely money jumper, which was that Beasley base. This card was just, to me, in terms of concept, was the furthest from reality that we saw last year. And they've just released the Pink Diamond Bol, which is a real warning shot to say that if they do release a Dark Matter Bol that's similar to this card, it probably will be the best card in the game. That Bol was slept on. That Bol is at number 5. So at number 4, this to me is more of a fan favourite situation, but everyone is waiting for the point guard LeBron James. This is a card we're very likely to get in the next couple of weeks. My prediction is, on the first day of next season, we're going to see this card. That's what I think. He did get an Evo upgrade after a while, so we'll check the Evo on the card. But 45 Hall of Fame badges, 28 gold badges, basically had every badge in the game that you would need. Absolutely dominant in terms of rim running, ball handling, like everything this card could do. I ran this card for 2 to 3 months. I actually locked in for the Thon Maker as well, which was probably my biggest mistake ever in terms of 2K. They've improved the card this year. He doesn't have the corner issue like he did last year. As goated as a card was last year, I think the card's going to be even better this year. But the main reason a point guard LeBron is anticipated is because people want a point guard LeBron card to run. So many people are such a fan of this guy and what he can do in the game. And the argument could also be made that this really isn't an out of position card anymore. That a LeBron James from last year was effectively a point guard. So we could just get LeBron from last year and it would be a point guard LeBron. At number 3, we've got point guard Jarnis. This is another card I think we'll get very, very soon. Now, there was a GOAT version of this card, but it didn't really have any longevity because of how late it came out. So I've opted to go with the Pink Diamond. Chances are we'll get a Galaxy Opal, I think, over the Dark Matter initially. And he'll probably have about 40 Hoff badges because we've got Pink Diamonds in the game right now with 36 Hoffs. So Galaxy Opal will be fine. I think that's what we'll get first. And right at the end of the game, we'll get a Dark Matter point guard Jarnis. But we know how dominant this card was. It was a card that probably had the most longevity of any card in the game last year. People ran this card for 4 or 5 months from release to end game. I mean, it really was a dominant card. It took the other point guard GOAT Jarnis to outdate this card. So again, this is a card that's hotly anticipated. It feels like one of those cards that we know we're going to get, even though the card doesn't make sense because Jarnis has never played point guard. It's just a 2K thing that this card exists. His jump shot is great this year, and again, they're going to put it on very quick. This could be a really scary card. And I think if we get an Opal Jarnis with the right amount of Hoff badges, about 40, let's say, he will probably be already a better card than the existing Ben Simmons in the game. So this card is due. It's inevitable. They're going to look to outdate Ben Simmons. This is probably the quickest way that 2K could do that right now. So at number 2, we've got GOAT Kareem. And oh my goodness, when this card came out, it was the definition of endgame. People have been saying it for a while. This card is endgame, that card's endgame. People said it with point guard LeBron, Jarnis, a few other things. But when this card came out, it was over. It was just over. 62 Hall of Fame badges, 7'2" height, 7'5" wingspan. This card moved like a point guard and could do everything a point guard could do. He was absolutely unstoppable in this game. And there's no doubt in my mind we're going to see a very similar card to this again by the end of the year. The Kareem, the radioactive Kareem was so goated on his own that if you start adding upgrades like this to it, it's going to be the same situation again. And there was only one card that could really stop this card, which was the dribble glitching 7'6", 7'5" wingspan, 64 Hall of Fame badge Yao Ming that we got at the end of last year. This card could do absolutely everything. And when I say he was the only card that could stop Kareem, the fact that this card was actually better than Kareem is just a ridiculous statement. Dribble glitching up the court, shooting threes at will, running like a point guard across the court. It was like one of the craziest things ever imaginable in this game. My question is, do they dial it up this year? Do they take this Yao and make it even more OP? I don't know. I mean, like I said, every card, just because of the fact that they're putting jump shots on very quick and things like that, every card just comparatively seems better than the similar card last year. So if we do get this card, it's probably going to be even better than the Yao Ming we had last year. So that's my top 10 list, guys. You let me know if there's anyone you think that I missed. Do you think there's any cards I put on here that don't deserve to be? And what would be really cool is if you could drop a comment down below of the craziest card you can think of that 2K could add this year. Are we going to see that Yao Ming run point guard? Are we going to see like other cards that just do things that no one else can do? Are we going to see changes and a new approach when it comes to those endgame cards? What do you think is going to happen? Let me know in the comments below. That's the video for today, guys. Until next time, thanks for watching.